you taking care of it? He said you came over and said, hey, we break the huddle at 10, we snap it at 2, we've got this in control. Just relate it from your standpoint on that. Is that the way it kind of went down, or?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I was telling the guys the whole time, I just knew we weren't going to lose that game. I don't know if it was composure or whatnot, but I think that it was just the confidence to know that we have a really good team. And so, being here for 4 years and seeing the guys work and seeing, where we've been and where we're going to now, I guess that's what it was just, the confidence of it. And so, for me, in that kind of situation, I've been waiting 4 years for this. And so, I've kind of put myself in this situation a couple of times, if you will. So, running down the clock to 10 seconds, saying hut and giving it to Glasgow was something that I've played in my mind for a while.
Chad Conine, 24/7 Sports. When Iowa State plays Texas Tech the week before they play you guys, do they have to show their cards a little bit in that situation? Offensively, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think we kind of have similar offenses in a way. I think we've played Iowa State enough to where we kind of know what they're going to do. But again, at the end of the day, it's about Baylor. For us, as an offensive standpoint, it's always about us going out to execute, us going out to produce the way we know how. It starts with practice the week before. It starts with game planning and watching film. And so, that's not really something we're worried about as far as who they play or who they haven't played. Again, it's just about us and going out and doing what we need to do.
Jerry Hill, Baylor Bear Insider. Bryce, usually one guy steps up. You've had two receivers that have put up ridiculous numbers. How big is that to have two guys that you can go? I know you spread it around, but how big is it to have two guys like that you can go to?
It's huge. And really there's 5 of them. You haven't mentioned Clay or Levi or Corey Coleman. So those guys do a great job. And like you said, they make my job easy. When you think about the passes that we've completed and how open they are, just says a lot about how talented they really are. It doesn't come to any surprise, on game day, just seeing how they practice and how they work. They do that stuff in practice. So, for me, it's just about kind of settling down, taking a deep breath and letting it fly because they're going to get it. So, it definitely makes my job easy. Again, hats off to the big guys up front because I pretty much had all day to sit back there and sling it around. So that's always a big, confidence for me, just knowing that I can sit back there and do that. Are
we still saying our names? Okay. Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm from Wyandotte and Austin. We were just talking, that conversation came up with Coach Briles because I asked him about if he ever gets surprised that, this is your first year starting and he can just kind of let you do your thing. I guess, do you ever surprise yourself, or where does your confidence come from, your composure? Because I feel like from the outsider's perspective, that's definitely one of the things that sticks out the most about you.
I really think that, again, it's been waiting for 4 years. I think that it's knowing that there was a plan and a purpose for it. God has had his hand in this whole, recruiting process, the 4 years of waiting and now. So, what I just kind of tell myself is just, it's all been done before. It's always been written, and it's my turn to just kind of go out and play, have fun. And so, that's what I try to do each week. The first couple weeks, I got a little, I wouldn't say rattled, but when things didn't go my way, I kind of pressed a little bit. For some reason, this game, that never really happened. I just felt really calm, very composed, I guess, if you will. And so I think that's kind of where I've wanted to be, this whole time. But it's just kind of taking a couple games to get under my belt. So, I think it's just the waiting game. It's learning from Griff, learning from Nick, from Coach Briles and Coach Monty every day. And then, when you go out there and play, you kind of try to treat it like practice. So.
Bryce, John Morris, Baylor Radio. In what ways can you and the team benefit from being pushed like you were at Kansas State?
It was huge. And I knew it wasn't going to be a blowout. K-State's a very tough place to play. Manhattan gets loud. I mean, they use their fans very well. And Coach Snyder's a great coach, that had them very disciplined. So, for us to kind of have our backs against the wall the whole game really shows us where we're at. And I was very, very happy. I mean, I was all smiles after the game just to kind of get that first big road win. But it was a true test for us. Kind of put us in positions we hadn't been before leading up to that game. And so, to see us kind of come out of that as a team really shows us where we're at.
Shahan J. Baylor Lariat. So do you think that this says more about, do you think that this is a game plan to beat Baylor after this game, or is this showing that there is no quite game plan to beat Baylor? What do you take from this?
From the K-State win? I think it just, again, like I was saying, it's just always about Baylor. I think that when we go out there and execute the way we know how, when we go out there and our game plan and we stick to that game plan, there's no team in the country that can beat us. And I can say that confidently, without a blink of an eye. The sky's the limit for this team. And again, kind of going back to, our backs against the wall, that's when you come together, as a family. And so that really shows a lot about a team. From, where you were in spring and summer and to where we are now, it shows a lot of maturity, which I think is not to say that Baylor hasn't had maturity in the past, but I think it's a kind of whole different dynamic to the maturity level. So it was big for us.
We're limited to one more question, guys. Sorry.
Lee Small, News Channel 25 Sports. Speaking about maturity, I asked Coach about Lake and his maturity, especially from last year to this year. Didn't get a lot of touches last year early on. Wasn't too pleased with that scene. But this year, after when Glasgow came in there to finish off the game, seemed like he was fully supportive of the entire situation. I just wanted to see, with you being in this program, what you've seen him over the last couple of years of his maturity level.
Exactly. No, I mean, I was very proud of Lake and how he handled that, because that was one of the things that I was kind of worried about, honestly. Just knowing that the success that he's had, and then it kind of, maybe a game that it wasn't there, how he would respond. And so, to see him just, be all for Glasgow was huge, because Glasgow's kind of been in that role, and I think Glasgow's done a great job with that too. And so, again, it goes back to we're a family. It doesn't matter if rushes for 250 yards and 6 touchdowns, or I get to throw for 400 yards and 6 touchdowns. Or as long as we get the win, that's what's most important, and that's really what Lake showed. And again, the maturity level he's come a long way.